Hi. You're not eating enough calories or protein in order to get a bigger butt. Hi, my name is Coach Indy, and right now I want to give you some tips about how to avoid under eating because I know that you want bigger glutes, you want bigger quads as well, bigger legs, bigger butt, and you can't get there if you're under eating. So this is a challenge that my client recently had. She's under a lot of stress right now. So the added stress that's on her plate caused her to undereat. I also recently ran into this myself because I was at work and I was so busy for both of my shifts. I did bring in food, but I still ran into undereating, especially working night shift. Then it requires a lot of sleep. So when you are sleeping, you're not eating. And then when you're busy at work, then you can be on your feet for those 12 hours, which can make it difficult to eat enough calories. So there's a lot of reasons why you might be under eating. It could be stress, it could be your job, it could be your sleep routines, it could be being too sedentary, and your metabolism or your hunger cues aren't kicking in. Maybe you have ADHD and you just simply forget to feed yourself. There's a bajillion reasons why you may be under eating, but I want to give you some tips on how you might be able to overcome that. So one thing that I was telling my client is that you want to think of your calories and your protein as like a bank account for the week. So say that you are at a 2,000 calorie a day diet. So if you times that by 7, then that is 14,000 calories for the week. So however many grams of protein that is for you, just for easy numbers, let's just say 100 grams of protein you want to get that week, then times that by 7. So that's 700 grams of protein for that week. So if you are under eating a couple days of the week, you can look at your calories and your grams of protein as a bank account, and you can make up for it on the other days of the week, or you can just simply plan better the next week. So hopefully you're on this journey for the rest of your life of just trying to eat better, exercise more, be healthier overall. So this is something that you're just going to take it week by week. You have 52 weeks, so you have 52 chances to try to get it right, and just don't give up, because eventually something's going to click. Eventually something is going to work for you, and it's just focusing on getting 1% better every single day. Hello, outcomes. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Like I was saying, treat your calories for the week as a bank account, treat your protein in grams as a bank account, and it may make it easier to not be so hard on yourself and allow yourself to just kind of reset every day and know that there's a new day, there's a new week to be had. So I have some other tips up here on my whiteboard for under eating. One of those is setting a routine. I was researching this topic to get more ideas, and one of them was saying like set an alarm for food, because sometimes your hunger cues may not be kicking in, especially when you're under a lot of stress, and maybe you have a stressful job, maybe you have a stressful situation that's coming up in your life. In my client's case, she's planning a wedding, and so she has a lot on her plate right now. So maybe set some alarms, set a routine that like at this time I'm going to eat. Maybe put some reminders. Maybe you need sticky notes on your fridge. Maybe you need to write something down on your bathroom mirror with like a marker. Just set some affirmations, around the house. Alarms, affirmations, reminders. Another one is, portion sizes. Everything's backwards. Portion sizes. So you're going to gradually increase your portion sizes. Hey, Panama, how you doing? So don't stress yourself on just going from small portions to bigger portions right away. You can gradually increase your portion sizes. Or like for me, I was looking at how much protein I've been having lately, and I've been sitting at 100 grams on average per day, which I need bare minimum 130 for my weight. Hey. So one thing, an easy fix for me could be just waking up every morning and have a 30-gram protein shake, or going to bed every night before bed and getting a 30-gram protein shake. So if I'm at 100 grams on average per day, just adding a 30-gram protein shake to my routine every day is gonna get me at my bare minimum, which is 130. So this is nutrient and calorie dense foods. So if you are under eating, the salad is not going to help you at all. So what you want to do is avoid the foods that are going to be low in calories, like salads. You want something that's higher in calories and higher in nutrients. So a good example of this is like going to Chipotle and getting a burrito, going to Cava and getting a wrap or bowl or whatever. So places like that have protein, carbs, and healthy fats in them. They're high in calories and they're high in nutrients. Or making something similar at home yourself that's similar to that, but not to call salad like rabbit foods. I'm not against eating healthy, but if you are in this category of under eating, you're gonna avoid those types of meals. Another thing you could do is, what's up, Martin? Another thing you could do is liquid calories. So drinking your calories. For me, for instance, I have protein in here in my water, so that's gonna help increase your calories as well. So smoothies, protein shakes, anything of that sort that could get you some extra calories, extra protein is gonna help you with under eating. So less appetite suppressants is the next one that I wrote down. And with that one, I'm talking about stimulants. As someone that deals with chronic fatigue, I rely heavily, and especially with me working night shift, right? So I rely heavily on stimulants, whether that be caffeine, tea that has caffeine, coffee, energy drinks, or even medication can fall in this list as well. Then you're going to want to avoid something that's going to suppress your appetite as much as you possibly can. So sometimes you may not be able to completely avoid stimulants, but decreasing the amount of stimulants that you have is going to help increase your appetite. 3 macros every single meal. So again, like I said, like Cava, Chipotle, other places that are like similar to that are going to help you get your protein, healthy fats, and carbs into one meal. Actively lower your stress. So I put actively because it's going to take some work, like whether that's meditation, prayer, music, walks, taking at least one day out of the week in order to actively lower your stress levels with some self-care. Maybe that's bubble baths, maybe that's going to the nail salon, something of that nature. Anything that has to do with self-care, whatever that looks like for you, you want to actively lower your stress levels, because if it's high stress that's causing you to undereat, then you want to treat the root cause, and it's going to take work. So it might sound like backwards, that it's going to take work in order for you to lower your stress, then but yeah, you're going to have to just put in the work. But it's going to be worth it. And then increase your metabolism is another one. So I've had people that have come to me and they're like, I am not hungry, I don't eat anything, but yet I don't lose any weight. And then we take a look at their daily step count, and they're like barely moving. They're barely working out, they're barely moving their bodies. And it's like, you have a sedentary lifestyle, so your metabolism is slow AF. So we have to increase your metabolism in some way, shape, or form, whether that's increasing your daily steps, getting you in the gym more, building more muscle. All of those things are going to increase your metabolism, which will also increase your hunger level. It's kind of like, you know how when you're on the treadmill and you're running and you're like, oh my God, like I'm so thirsty. You might not have drinking any water that whole day, but now all of a sudden that you're running or walking on the treadmill, now you're thirsty, is because you have triggered your thirst cues by losing water, by being active. So it's the same thing, like you can help trigger your hunger cues by being a little bit more active, less sedentary, because then your body's like, hey, I need something to replenish. So these are just some tips on basically how to get bigger legs, bigger booty if you're under eating, and I hope this helps. Drop a hashtag replay down in the comment section below. If you're watching this on replay, most of you guys will be, and I hope that you got some value from this. So give me a heart down below if you got some value. If you need help understanding this more, calculating your calories, calculating your grams of protein or macros, this and that and the third, then DM me, and I'm always, or if you just have any other questions, then DM me and I'm willing to help. Hope you guys have a good night, good day, bye.